Hello and welcome. There's nothing quite like the scent of curry leaves, is there? It's so evocative of so many wonderful dishes from all over the Indian subcontinent. But the joy of growing your own is that the flavor is so much more intense. And of course you can pick them whenever you need them. Today we're going to concentrate on growing your own curry leaf plant. It's a wonderfully attractive shrub with glossy green leaves that release their aroma when you brush past them or pick a few for cooking. It can be grown outdoors in a sheltered spot or indoors, making it a versatile addition to any garden or home. Now, growing curry leaf plants is a rewarding journey, and we will be with you every step of the way, from those very first shoots to a plant that will give you pleasure and flavor for years to come. Now, there are three main ways to start your curry leaf plant: seeds, cuttings, or suckers. Each has its own pros and cons, so let's take a look at each one. Seeds are certainly the most accessible method, and you can often find them online or at specialty nurseries. When sowing seeds, it's best to start them indoors in a warm, bright location. Use a good quality seed compost, sow the seeds thinly and cover them lightly. It's always worth sowing a few more than you need because the germination rate can be a little erratic. Cuttings, on the other hand, offer a quicker route to a mature plant. The best time to take cuttings is in spring or early summer from new growth. Look for healthy stems and make a clean cut just below a leaf node. Remove the lower leaves, dip the cut end in rooting hormone, and then pop it into a pot filled with a mix of compost and perlite or vermiculite. Something free draining because you don't want the cutting to rot before it's had a chance to establish. And finally, suckers. Curry leaf plants often produce suckers, which are essentially baby plants that sprout from the base of the parent plant. These can be carefully separated and potted up to create new plants. The best time to do this is in spring, when the plant is actively growing. Whichever method you choose, remember that patience is key. Curry leaf plants are not the fastest growers, but with a bit of care and attention, you'll soon have healthy plants ready for their next stage. Once those seeds have germinated, or those cuttings have rooted, or your suckers are showing signs of new growth, it's time to give them their own pots. Now, curry leaf plants love sunshine, so choose a bright spot for them, whether it's a sunny windowsill or a sheltered spot in your garden. If you're growing indoors, you might want to give them a bit of extra light with a grow lamp, especially during the winter months. When it comes to watering, curry leaf plants prefer moist but well-drained soil. Don't let them get waterlogged. It's a good idea to let the top inch or so of compost dry out before you water them again. And a good tip is to use tepid water. They really don't like getting cold feet. As your young plants grow, it's important to provide them with the right nutrients. A balanced liquid fertilizer every few weeks during the growing season will do the trick. Just follow the instructions on the bottle. Finally, keep an eye out for any pests or diseases. Curry leaf plants are generally quite hardy, but can sometimes be affected by aphids or scale insects. If you do spot any problems, there are plenty of organic solutions available, or you can simply wipe them off with a damp cloth. Now, as your curry leaf plant grows, it's important to encourage a bushy habit. This will not only make it look more attractive, but will also increase your yield of those delicious leaves. Regular pruning is the key here. Don't be afraid to snip off any leggy or overgrown stems. The best time to prune is in spring or early summer, just before the plant starts putting on lots of new growth. You can even use the prunings as cuttings to create even more plants. Another crucial aspect of curry leaf plant care is providing the right growing conditions. These plants thrive in warm temperatures and high humidity. If you live in a cooler climate, it's best to grow your curry leaf plant in a pot and bring it indoors during the colder months. When grown outdoors in the ground, curry leaf plants prefer a well-drained, slightly acidic soil. If your soil is heavy clay, adding some organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure will help improve drainage. And remember, these plants love sunshine. Aim for at least 6 hours of direct sunlight each day for optimal growth. If you notice the leaves starting to yellow, it could be a sign that the plant is not getting enough light. With the right care and attention, your curry leaf plant will thrive and reward you with an abundance of flavorful leaves. Patience is a virtue, they say, and never more so than when you are waiting for your first crop of homegrown curry leaves. It takes time, anything from 6 to 12 months from a cutting or a seedling, but eventually you will have a plant that is big and strong enough to start harvesting from. And what a moment that is. But a word of caution, you don't want to over-harvest and weaken the plant. A good rule of thumb is to never take more than 1/3 of the leaves at any one time. And always use a pair of sharp secateurs or scissors to avoid damaging the stems. Now, when it comes to choosing which leaves to pick, you're looking for those glossy, deep green leaves that are full of fragrance. The younger, more tender leaves at the tips of the stems are the most flavorful. The older leaves are perfectly edible, of course, just a bit more robust in flavor. Once you've harvested your leaves, you can use them fresh or store them for later. To keep them fresh, simply wrap them in a damp paper towel and store them in the fridge. They'll keep for a couple of weeks like this. You can also freeze them if you want to keep them for longer, so there you have it. Harvesting your own curry leaves is a truly satisfying experience, and the best part is the more you harvest, the bushier and more productive your plant will become. Now, if you allow your curry leaf plant to flower, you'll be treated to a beautiful display of small white star-shaped blooms that are highly fragrant. These flowers will eventually give way to small black berries, each containing a few seeds. While the berries themselves are edible, they have a slightly bitter taste and are not commonly used in cooking. However, they do present an excellent opportunity to propagate even more curry leaf plants. To grow curry leaf plants from seed, simply extract the seeds from the ripe berries and allow them to dry for a few days. Once dry, you can sow them in seed trays or pots filled with a well-draining seed compost. Keep the soil consistently moist and place the trays or pots in a warm, bright location. It's worth noting that curry leaf plants grown from seed can take several years to produce leaves with the same potency as those from mature plants. However, it's a rewarding process to nurture a plant from seed and watch it grow. Of course, if you don't want to grow more plants from seed, you can simply enjoy the flowers and berries for their beauty and fragrance. The flowers attract pollinators to the garden, while the berries provide a food source for birds. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to allow your curry leaf plant to flower and produce seeds is entirely up to you. And there we have it. Everything you need to know to grow your own curry leaf plants. And once those plants are established, they will reward you with their aromatic leaves for years to come. Remember that patience and attention to detail are key when growing curry leaf plants, but the rewards are well worth the effort. So, go forth and grow your own curry leaf plants. Your taste buds will thank you for it.